Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your boy, Delightful Kiss Boy, and today I'm going to be commentating on this fun little game between two AIs that I spectated earlier. So, for context, what I'm doing is running some games to just kind of make sure that things are working okay with the AIs, and I'm noting the seeds on the random number generator that are being used so that I can repro the game if I need to try to like dive into specific issues, etc. I found one issue actually. So the AIs were not using burner phones properly. They were miscalculating the probabilities of like the next shell being live, given known information, and so they weren't using burner phones as well as they could be using them. So I fixed that, and I'm still on the lookout for potential issues as I'm working to adapt the algorithm to work for higher player counts. But anyway, I was watching this game, and I thought there were some interesting moves here. This post-fixing, the bug there. So I just wanted to put the seed back in, run through the game, commentate on it, because I think there's some interesting stuff. So, round one, we start off. It's Harry versus Wayne, the classic matchup here. And Harry gets to go first. The loadout is 3 live, 1 blank. And to note, this is the actual order. Once again, the bots aren't going to know what the order is, but we can see it up here because there's no humans involved. So this is just for spectating purposes. So let's see what happens. So Harry goes first. They start yoinking items. Harry gets an inverter, adrenaline, and Wayne gets adrenaline jammer. Now Harry starts, and he's probably going to start off. He starts off by yoinking the jammer there. Jams Wayne, and then he just shoots at Wayne. Doesn't invert here because there are more lives than there are blanks, so even though the next one is blank, as we know, he doesn't know that, so there's a 3/4 chance that the next one is live, so he just goes ahead and aims at Wayne. Hits the blank, so Wayne takes no damage, but then the remaining shells are all live. Now, Wayne is jammed, so it goes back to Harry, and then Harry's just going to go ahead and shoot Wayne again here. And then Wayne gets to go, and Wayne could steal Inverter here, but that doesn't really do anything for him, because if he steals Inverter, he knows these last 2 shells are live, he inverts it, he would aim it himself, and then he would have the last shot on Harry, but then Harry would get to start the next loadout, which is not ideal, and then Wayne is down in adrenaline. So no player, players wouldn't have any items, but Wayne also wouldn't have this adrenaline. What's going to happen here, though, is he's going to shoot Harry, and then Harry is going to invert it so that he can start the next loadout. So the AI has essentially determined that starting the new loadout is more valuable than dealing 1 damage most of the time, especially as you start to get to lower health counts. So that's to be noted, is that basically when it comes down to the last shell being live and they have an inverter, they're almost always inverting it and then aiming at themselves so that they get to start the new loadout. Now, Harry gets to go again, so let's see how that pays off. But Wayne gets cigarettes and a magnifying glass. Harry gets adrenaline and a handsaw. So let's see what Harry does here. It's 2 and 2. Once again, he doesn't know the order. So he's going to start off by yoinking Wayne's cigarettes, which makes sense. That's a 2-point health swing right there, because Wayne is at 3. Harry goes up to 4 again and deprives Wayne of his cigarettes. So that's a really good move. Then Harry's going to saw it off, saws off the shotgun, and is just going to aim at Wayne here, because it's a 50-50 that he hits him here. Unfortunately for Harry, he misses. Now there are 2 live and 1 blank remaining. He probably used the handsaw early so that Wayne wouldn't be able to steal it from him, because assuming he misses there, then Wayne would have a guaranteed 2 using a magnifying glass, or a probable 2 not using magnifying glass. So now Wayne is going to use a magnifying glass. He sees the next one is live, and he shoots at Harry. And now Harry doesn't know between these 2 which one the live and blank is, so let's see what he does here. He's going to shoot at Wayne. Now the reason he's shooting at Wayne here is because, let's assume that the next one was blank, right? He doesn't know. It's a 50-50 either way. If it's a blank, he shoots at Wayne, and then Wayne gets to go and he shoots Harry back for 1. So Harry ends up taking 1, but he gets to start the next loadout. Now let's assume that this one is live. Well, he's going to shoot Wayne, deal 1 to Wayne, and then Wayne gets to start the next loadout. But if he shot himself there, if it was live, you know, which it is in this case, he would take 1, and then Wayne would also get to start the next loadout. And if he shoots himself and it's a blank, he would hit Wayne for 1, but then Wayne would get to start the next loadout. So no matter what you do, if you shoot at yourself in this situation, you don't get to start the next loadout. In this case, there's a 50-50 either way if you're going to start the next loadout or not. So it's best to shoot your opponent here. So he shoots Wayne, and then Wayne gets to go. He's going to obviously aim at himself. He gets to start the next loadout. So he's at 2, and Harry's at 3, and he gets to start the new loadout. Let's see what happens. So it's 2 live, 3 blank. Harry grabs cigarettes, beer, magnifying glass, beer. Wayne gets adrenaline, beer, handsaw, and another adrenaline. Now let's see what Wayne does here, because I think this is where one of the interesting plays happens. So Wayne is going to think about it for a bit. He's going to use adrenaline and steal the magnifying glass from Harry. He takes a little peek here. Now here is what I thought was really interesting. Okay, so actually not this one. So he steals the cigarettes. Once again, makes sense. It's a 2-point life swing in this case. Definitely the right thing to do. But watch what Wayne does here. Now he's using adrenaline again to steal beer when he knows the next shell is blank. So he could just clear this by hitting himself here, but he's explicitly stealing a beer. He's using an adrenaline to steal a beer here to clear a shell that he already knows is blank. Now you may think, that's fucking stupid, and that's kind of what I thought initially. I'm like, what are you doing? There must be a bug in the code here. But think about it this way. All right, they're both at 3 here. All right. Now let's say that Wayne clears the shell here himself. It's 2 and 2 remaining, and then he could shoot at Harry next, right? Or he could use his own beer, but let's say he just shoots at Harry next. Let's say that he hits Harry with a live, and then it's blank, blank, and a live. So 2 blanks and a live, right? If Harry has both beers remaining, he will always be able to get to the last shell, and he will probably be able to start the next round, or at the very least, you know, shoot Wayne for a guaranteed 1. Now let's say that Wayne clears this blank, it's 2 and 2, and then Wayne shoots at Harry and hits a blank. Then it's live, live, blank remaining. 2 live and 1 blank. Once again, he can just eject 2 of them, get to that last shell, and either get, you know, a guaranteed 1 on Wayne, or, you know, get to start the next loadout. Either way, right? Additionally, let's say Wayne clears this blank, and then he uses his own beer here to go down to 3 shells remaining. Either he goes down to 2 live, 1 blank, or 1 live and 2 blank, right? Now, at this point, though, Wayne is still in a bad position because he's used one of his beers. It goes down to 3, and then he would shoot at Harry, and basically, once again, it goes down to 2 shells. Harry would be able to eject. So basically, anytime it goes down to like 2 shells, and your opponent has beer, they're in the favorable position. So what Wayne is doing here is he's eliminating that as a possibility by stealing the beer, even though he knows he could just clear this shell anyway. It's hard to wrap your head around, and I'm still, like, you know, not super clear on all the details here, but essentially what Wayne is trying to do here is preventing Harry from being able to just eject to the last shell. So let's see if this pays off. So he's going to steal a beer here, ejects the blank that he already saw, and then he's going to use a handsaw here, saw it off, 50-50 that he's going to hit, you know, either way. He's just going to take that shot, shoots Harry, and it pays off. He hits him for 2. Now Harry gets to go, and you'll notice he can use beer here, but then it ejects down to a 50-50, right? So he could either eject a live one, and then there's 2 blanks, he gets to start the new loadout, or he ejects here and it goes down to a 50-50, and that's going to happen 2/3 of the time. When he's at 1 health, you know, it's not going to be a great position to be in if he goes to the 50-50, so let's see if he chooses to use beer here. He takes his turn, and instead, he's aiming at himself here. Now, the reason he's doing this is because, once again, if he uses beer here, it goes to the 50-50 2/3 of the time, at which point he's dying 50% of the time. In this case, what he's doing is he's taking a 1/3 chance of dying, 2/3 chance of living, so that he can get to that 50-50 and then use beer to guarantee that he survives to the next loadout. So it's like, it's interesting, and this is making me think that beer is a lot better than we've been giving it credit for, because the AI used adrenaline to use it just to deprive Harry from being able to get to that last shell in the loadout. So Wayne basically wants to keep Harry at 1, with Wayne going first, if possible. So Harry's going to shoot at himself here, risky move, but it pays off. He ejects a blank. Then what he's going to do next is he's going to use beer, ejects the live. Of course, he could have ejected the blank here, and then he shoots back at Wayne, but which wouldn't be ideal because Wayne would get to go first, but at least he gets to survive to the next loadout. It pays off here, though, for Harry, and he goes ahead and aims himself, and now he gets to start the next loadout at 1 health, which is clutch, because if Wayne got to go first there, he would probably win. Now, let's see what happens here. It's 3 and 2. Harry grabs cigarettes, adrenaline, and an inverter, and then Wayne gets a burner phone, and a handsaw. So let's see what Harry opts to do here. He's going to think about it for a bit. He's in the tank. I'm going to guess he's just going to use, cigarettes to start off with. Really no reason not to. I had a program before where if you were on like a lower health and you had cigarettes, the AI would just auto use them. But I figured I'd just let the AI come to that conclusion itself. Part of the reason is because I want to see how it prioritizes stealing cigarettes versus using their own, etc., etc. So he's going to smoke up to 2. Then he's thinking again. So he's got adrenaline, he's got an inverter. So what does he want to do here? He's going to use adrenaline, he's going to steal the handsaw, which is a good idea, because now Wayne can't get, 2 damage in 1 shot on Harry. So he steals the handsaw, saws it off, and then he's going to shoot at Wayne without using the inverter. Makes sense because there are more live than there are blanks. So he shoots at Wayne, hits him for 2. Good stuff. Now Wayne's going to go next. Let's see what Wayne does here. He uses a burner phone, learns the last shell is blank. He uses another burner phone, learns that the second to last shell is live. So now it's a 50-50 between these two. He's going to use beer here to eject one. So now he learns that he knows the entire loadout now. It's live, blank. So let's see what he opts to do here. He's just going to shoot at Harry here. Hits him for 1, and then Harry's going to go. Now Harry, this is something that was also interesting to me, right? You think here, using inverter doesn't do anything, because just a 50-50, you're either going to be turning a blank shell into a live one, or, vice versa. This is actually really clever, all right? Now think about it like this. So, let's say that Harry just shoots here without using inverter. He shoots at Wayne, all right? 50% of the time it's going to be blank, and then Wayne shoots back at Harry and wins. So basically Harry would lose in that situation if he shoots Wayne and it's a blank. If Harry shoots Wayne and it's alive, then he wins, obviously. So it's a 50% chance of losing, 50% chance of winning if he just shoots at Wayne. Let's say he shoots at himself. Well, once again, it's a 50-50, right? Either he hits himself for 1, the first shell is live, or he hits himself with blank, and then he hits Wayne for 1 for the kill. So once again, a 50-50. But let's look at what happens when he uses an inverter here. Now the inverter, let's say that it was a blank there, right? So blank and then live. Then what would happen is he'd turn the blank into a live, he would shoot Wayne, and he would win. Let's say then that it's the case here where the next one is live. Well, what happens here is he inverts it, turns this one into a blank, and then he shoots at Wayne, which leaves Wayne alive, and then Wayne gets to shoot himself and start the next loadout, which is bad, but Wayne starting the next loadout as the worst case rather than just explicitly losing, it's a better scenario, right? So this turns it from a 50-50 of winning or losing to a 50-50 of winning or Wayne starts the next loadout. So that's very clever, okay? So he's going to go ahead and do that. And then he shoots at Wayne, and boom. Now let's see what Wayne does here. Obviously, he knows the last shell is blank. He aims at himself. Gets to start the next loadout, and is now 1 and 2. So 1 live, 2 blank. Wayne grabs cigarettes, inverter. Harry grabs inverter and adrenaline. So Wayne is probably going to use cigarettes here. Yep, goes up to 2. And he's just going to aim at Harry. And unfortunate for Harry, he hit the live one, and Harry's just dead-zos. So we move on to round 2. Harry gets to start round 2 because Wayne won the last round. And now it is 3 live, 2 blank. I should also tell you I've implemented a scrolling function for the logs now. So my dumbass will not forget what the loadout is when I'm playing in the future, because I can just scroll back up and see it up here. Good stuff. Anyway, Harry gets to start the next loadout, though, or sorry, the next round. Let's see what they get. 3 and 2. So Wayne picks up a jammer and beer and inverter. Harry gets adrenaline, phone, and phone. Excuse me. Now Harry gets to start, and let's see what he does here. So he's thinking about it. He's in the tank. Probably going to steal jammer if I had to guess. I don't remember the exact details of what happened here. He's going to use a burner phone first. So he learns that the middle shell is alive. So that means the remaining distribution is 2 and 2. Let's see what he does next here. He's going to use a adrenaline, steal jammer, makes sense. And then he's going to shoot Wayne once, hits him. Good stuff, good stuff. And Wayne is jammed, so it goes back to Harry. And now it's 2 and 2, but Harry knows that this shell is live, which means that there's a 2/3 chance that the next shell is blank. Let's see what he opts to do here. He's going to take his turn. He's going to use the other burner phone here, which is, once again, you know, it's smart that he's doing it like this because this guarantees that he doesn't learn the same shell again. Let's say that he used burner phone last turn, right? He learned the middle shell here, and he might have learned that same shell again, thus wasting the burner phone. But since Wayne was jammed there, he learns the 3rd shell here. He goes ahead and then shoots Wayne. Goes back to his turn. Now, in multiplayer, you cannot learn the 2nd shell here, so Wayne is guaranteed to learn new information by using the phone now rather than last turn. So, smart stuff. A little optimization there. And he learns where the 2nd live shell is. So now he knows the entire remaining loadout. Now let's see what he does with that information. Shoots it himself here because he knows the next one is blank. And then now he knows the remaining 2 here. The next 2 are both live. What he's going to do is he's going to shoot Wayne. And then he hits Wayne. And now Wayne doesn't know which one is which. So let's see what he opts to do here. I'm going to guess he uses a beer. Yeah, he uses a beer. And now he could have inverted the last shell here, made it alive, and then shot Harry for 1. But then Harry would get to start the next loadout with Wayne at 1. So instead he opts to keep the inverter and then just aim it himself so he can start the next loadout. Now, new loadout is 1 and 1. So 1 live, 1 blank. Wayne gets a jammer, cigarettes, and then Harry gets magnifying glass and cigarettes. And Wayne gets to start here. Now, what's he going to do? Is he going to invert? Or sorry, is he going to jam? Let's see what he does. Well, first thing, yeah, he is jamming. So he jams Harry, and he's going to shoot him, and then hits him with the blank, so no damage there. And then now Wayne is going to smoke. Makes sense, goes up to 2. And now he's going to invert the last shell and turn it into a blank so that he gets to start again. Now, once again, makes sense because there's a reasonable chance that Harry will be able to find a way to deal a likely 2 damage in the next loadout on the first turn. So Wayne, instead of dealing a guaranteed 1 to Harry, opts to take the first turn in the new loadout. Let's see if it pays off. Well, Wayne gets a beer and a burner phone and cigarettes and another beer. Harry gets inverter, burner phone, inverter, and magnifying glass. It's 2 and 3, so 2 live, 3 blank. And it's all stacked at the beginning with a bunch of blanks. Let's see what Wayne does here. So Wayne's going to think about it. Let's see what he opts to do. He's going to... Come on, Wayne, you can do this. One thing I want to do is I want to implement kind of a replay feature into the game where you can essentially save a game that you play and then watch back the replay, and all of the hidden information would be revealed to you. So you'd be able to see like exactly what your opponents learned, that sort of thing, and you could just watch the replay back. I don't have that implemented for now, so I'm just, you know, reusing the same seed and then seeing the same match play out again. But replay feature would be pretty cool. So Wayne opts to use cigarettes here, makes sense. Let's see what he does here, though, right? So there is a 2/3 chance, or sorry, a 2/5 chance that the next shell is live. and a 3/5 chance that the next shell is blank. He's going to use beer here. He ejects a blank. So now it's 2 and 2. Let's see what he does from here. He's still thinking about it. 2 and 2. He's going to use another beer. Ejects another blank, and now it's 2 and 1. And so now he's just going to go ahead and shoot. He's not using the burner phone here. And I think the reason he's not using burner phone here is, like, you might think, well, why not use it? Just get some more information. The thing is, it doesn't affect his play at all, right? He's going to be shooting Harry anyway, regardless of what he learns. So he opts to not use it. So he's going to shoot at Harry here. Unfortunate for him, it is a blank, so he misses. And now Harry, let's see what Harry opts to do. He's going to take his turn, and now he's going to shoot at Wayne. Now, to note, he could have inverted and then shot himself, then inverted and then shot himself. But this scenario is actually better for Harry, is if he shoots at Wayne, he hits him for 1. Now, Wayne can't invert, and he can't do anything. So the only thing he can do is shoot back at Harry for 1. So now Harry has taken 1, but he was guaranteed to start the next loadout, and he's starting the next loadout with Wayne at a lower health total. So that's something that's important, right? So essentially what you want to do is you want to start the next loadout with your opponent at a low enough, as low as possible health total, right? Now you can see here, he's got 2 magnifying glasses and 2 inverters. That means that if he gets a jammer, he just jams him and then he wins automatically, because these are 2 guaranteed shots. If he gets a handsaw, he uses the guaranteed shot to deal guaranteed 2. And so it's much better for Wayne to be at 2 than being at 3, because if he gets a jammer or a handsaw, then he just wins, right? So good stuff. One thing though is, let me see, passes, and then Wayne passes the turn to Harry. Yeah, okay. If I were Harry there though, so I need to maybe adjust my evaluation function, because there's a good chance that Harry will run out of space here when getting new items. So I probably would have used the cigarettes and the burner phone to get them out of the way to improve my chances of getting a jammer or a handsaw. I don't have like the logic programmed into the state evaluation function to see, you know, what the chances are of getting a guaranteed win. Instead, it's just kind of doing an additive evaluation of what they think each item is worth. That doesn't really, it's just a static mapping. So I may have to adjust that, because I think that clearing out item space here would have definitely been the play. But anyway, let's start the next loadout. Let's see what happens. It's 3 live, 1 blank. And he gets a jammer, so that's a guaranteed win. And burner phone runs out of space. This is what I'm saying. It's like you want to just maximize your chances of getting that guaranteed win there. Wayne gets to go next. He gets cigarettes and magnifying glass and burner phone. Harry gets to start here. Now, once again, it's a guaranteed win. We can see that. He's got jammer and then 2 guaranteed shots. But the AI will still spend some time in the tank to come to this conclusion. And he's probably going to do a bunch of nonsense, even though he's got a guaranteed win. I think, I might make it so that they don't have to think quite as long, but I do kind of think it's funny when they just do a bunch of random shit because they know that they're going to win or lose anyway. It's kind of funny to me. Like, I think here, Harry uses 2 magnifying glasses in a row, which of course does nothing. It's stupid. But it's because Harry knows that there's no way he can lose here. He's just going to go ahead and jam. And he does that. Jams Wayne here, and then, assuming he's going to shoot Wayne with a guaranteed live, he's going to smoke up. Makes sense also. And let's see what happens. So he uses burner phone. A little unnecessary there, but he just shoots Wayne. But he knows where 2 of the live shells are now, and uses another burner phone here. So you go ahead and shoot Wayne, and boom, he wins. All right, so we go to round 3 here, and Wayne gets to start. And it is 3 and 3. So let's see what happens here. Harry gets 2 handsaws and a jammer. Wayne gets handsaw, smokes, magnifying glass. Let's see what Wayne opts to do here. He's thinking about it. He's going to use a magnifying glass, and then he's going to clear a blank, and then he's going to just shoot. He's not going to use the handsaw, which is interesting. He's just going to hit Harry for 1 here. Now, let's see what Harry opts to do. Now this is interesting as well. Now, why is Harry aiming at himself here? All right, especially when they didn't jam here, right? This seems a little nonsensical. You'd think that you'd want to at least jam. Well, let's think about it. Okay, let's say that he shoots Wayne here, and he hits the live. Then there would be a pretty damn good chance that Wayne would be able to saw it off and hit Harry for 2 here. Which means that Wayne would win, right? Which would not be good. Now, why didn't Harry jam here, though, right? Because there's a risk that he hits himself for 1, and then, you know, Wayne gets to go immediately. It's because jamming doesn't really do anything here for Harry if he hits himself, right? So if he hits himself, there would be 2 blanks and 1 live remaining. And then Wayne would be jammed. But then Harry is now in a dilemma, right? Where he's going to shoot at Wayne, and it goes down to a 50-50, where he shoots at himself. You know, he's hitting himself 1/3 of the time. Essentially, it boils down to the jammer doesn't do anything for him, really. And so what he's opting to do is he's just taking the 50-50 here that he hits a blank to try to maximize the chances that he's able to survive this loadout while keeping as many items as he can. Without wasting items, essentially. So he's going to aim at himself, hits himself with a blank, which is lucky. That was a 50-50 chance. And now he knows that there are 2 live, 1 blank remaining. So now what he's going to do is he's going to shoot himself again, which, once again, you may think, well, that's stupid. You know, why wouldn't you just jam here and then shoot at him twice? Well, it's because there's a 2/3 chance that he hits, but he can't kill Wayne, right? And then it would go down to being a 50-50 again. Right? So let's say that he jams Wayne here, saws it off, shoots at Wayne, and then it goes down to a 50-50. Well, half the time he would be killing Wayne, half the time he would be losing himself because Wayne also has a handsaw, right? Now, he would be, you know, down a jammer or whatever, you know, all that kind of shit. Now, let's say that he aims at Wayne and he misses in that 1/3 of the time. Well, then that's also a guaranteed loss. So basically, here's what happens: is it's either 2/3 of the time you hit Wayne for 2, and then he smokes back up to 2, and then there's a 50-50 as to whether Harry's going to lose or not, right? If you just shoot at Wayne here. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit mixed up. But then let's say that he shoots at Wayne and it's a blank. There's a 1/3 chance of this. That's a guaranteed loss as well. So 1/3 of the time you have a guaranteed loss. 2/3 of the time you have a 50-50 chance of having a loss, right? Let's say that he jams here, right? Let's say he jams Wayne. Well, now there's a 2/3 chance that the first one is live. He hits Wayne, and then it's once again a 50-50 as to whether he's going to live or not, right? Because he could shoot at Wayne, and then Wayne would go. If he hits a blank when he shoots at Wayne, then Wayne gets to go and get the guaranteed 2 in the last shot and hit Harry back. Other way around, though, so... Sorry, I'm trying to keep all this shit in my head. I need like a graph. I need like a chart to draw all this stuff out. But then imagine, you know, so basically it's the same scenario whether he jams or not here, is what I'm trying to say, right? Doesn't matter either way. So he's opting to not use the jammer. And now he's opting to shoot at himself here, which you may once again think is odd. But what's happening here is that 2/3 of the time he's going to hit himself for 1, at which point it goes to Wayne. It's still a 50-50, right? Because Wayne could deal 2 damage, which means that Harry would die, even though, you know, even if Harry takes 1 damage here versus not taking any damage, it doesn't matter because Wayne can deal 2 and kill Harry. So 2/3 of the time, it goes down to a 50-50, and then Wayne, you know, wins 50% of the time. 1/3 of the time, he ejects the blank, and then he jams Wayne, and then he gets a guaranteed win. So what he's doing is he's playing for that guaranteed win. If he hits the blank in that 1/3 of the time, he gets to clear it, jam Wayne, use a handsaw, hit him for 2, and then shoot him and kill Wayne. So it's not going to pay off here, but I think that this is definitely the best play. And what I've learned is that there are actually more situations in which you want to shoot yourself in this game than I was giving it credit for, especially in multiplayer. Now, sorry, I got a little, I was a little messy there, but there's a lot going on explaining why Harry has just shot at himself twice in a row without knowing the next shell. But it's all pretty interesting stuff. Now, Harry shoots himself. He hits himself for one. Obviously, that's unfortunate. But now Wayne, it's still a 50-50 as to whether he's going to hit Harry or not. So let's see what he does. He goes and aims at Harry, misses, and then now Harry gets to go, and he's going to saw it off, shoot Wayne for 2, and he gets to start the new loadout. He doesn't get to start the new loadout because he shoots Wayne for 2. Wayne gets to start the new loadout. So Harry is still more likely to lose here than not, but I think that that sequence of events playing for the win was definitely the way to go, and this is, I think, a guaranteed loss for Harry. All right, now he's thinking about it. I mean, all you got to do is use a magnifying glass, sees the live, shoots Harry, and Wayne wins. Now, I didn't do a great job of explaining exactly what was going on, and towards the end there, I'm a little bit groggy. No, apologies. But there were a lot of interesting plays here in this game. There was that stealing the beer. There was a lot of aiming at self when not knowing the next shell. There's a lot we can learn from this. And so I thought I would share this little match with you guys, just kind of commentate on it. Like I said, I want to have a replay feature so that we can kind of capture this and replay, all sorts of interesting matches and talk about them and analyze them. But good amount to learn from this one. Hope you learned something. I'm continuing to work on the software, which I will be releasing for everybody to use soon. And I'm working on the multiplayer video. So, thank you for watching, and bye-bye.